Hello, welcome to Ekidel, where I train future civil and structural engineer. My name is Justice Onwaka and I am your instructor. Today, I will be showing you how to perform a structural design for a 16-story building having a swimming pool at the top of the building. Okay, so right now as you can see, this is a structural plan for a 16-story building. And also you can also see that these are the plans here from the ground floor all the way down to this is the 13th to 14th floor, and all the way down to the roof plan, as you can see it here. And at the roof plan here, there is a swimming pool at the top of the roof here, which if you look at the view here, you also see the swimming pool here, as you can see it here, because here is the area of the swimming pool. Now I'll be showing you the full structural design of this 16-story hotel building having swimming pool at the top. This video series will be basically a series, because knowing that this is a 16-story hotel building, it will take longer time for us to finish it up, so we will be following it up every 2 days. We are going to be dropping these videos until we are done with the design of this building of 16-story building. Okay, and then also we are going to drop the CAD file at this video description. So if maybe you want to follow up this video very well to the ending, I will say that you should get the CAD file so that you can be able to follow up and then appreciate what we are doing on this 16-story building. Basically, this building has a lot of experience to give each and every one of you, either young engineer or even a professional engineer that is trying to design high-rise building. You will be able to design like only this swimming pool here at the top here. That should give you an experience on how to design a swimming pool at the top of the roof of a high-rise building, and also other kind of special things that are involved in the design. And also we will be using a pipe foundation for this structure. Okay, let's now begin for the design of this structure of this 16-story building. Okay, so the first thing to do when you are given a building plan is to first of all study your building plan, which I have said over and over again on my videos. And then once you study your building plan, the next thing to do is to begin your structural framing, which simply means GA, and GA simply means general arrangement drawing, and that simply means where you have to place all your grid lines and then position your column points. Okay, so right now on this building just now, you can see that I have already placed all my column points, as you can see that. The next thing now, sorry, I have already placed all my grid line, I can see that. The next thing I'll do right now is to now place my column points. Now before I do that, we will be using ProtaStructure 2022 for the design as our design software, and invariably this will be a full structural design on how to use 2022 version of Prota to design for your structures. Okay, so once you're done placing your grid lines, as you can see, I have placed all my grid lines on all my plans. I can see that right now. The next thing now is to place your column points. Now when it comes to high-rise building, remember when I was teaching you for a 1-story building, I said that you should try every possible means to hide your columns in between your walls. But when it comes to high-rise building, for high-rise building, you might not require that, because high-rise building requires bigger columns. So your columns are permitted to come out from your walls. They are so much permitted. Okay, so right now, knowing that right now, I will now move on to now activate my column layer. Now I have told you before, if you're using ProtaStructure as your design software, the first thing you must do is to create layer and title it column, and create another again and title it what? Grid. I can see right now I have a grid line here. So with this now, I'll quickly select this my axis here, right click and then select what's similar and activate it to be a grid layer, a grid layer name. So I'll come here and choose grid and make sure everything here should be by layer, which is on this place by color by layer, and on this place again here by layer, which is the line type, and this place here the line type by layer, line by layer. Okay, that's fine. So right now you can see that all our grid lines now are now on grid line layer. Okay, grid layers. Okay, so right now, to now begin to now place our column, the first thing I'll do is to go and activate my column layer. So I'll come here and then choose column here and make my column here, and then make sure everything here should be by layer. Now once I have done that, now then I told you before again that to create your columns, when you are exporting your plan to ProtaStructure, the first thing you do is to do what? Use polyline to create your column, or rectangle. So you can use a rectangle icon or polyline to create a column. So right now I'll be using the rectangle icon to create my column. So I'll click on rectangle right now, and then I'll click on any space here. And to create my columns now, the first thing I'll do is to type my column width and my column breadth. Okay, so doing that now, I want my column dimension to be 600 by 600 because this is a high-rise building. So I want to have I want to assume my column size to be what? 600 by, so I'll press tab, 600. Okay, and that is it. So right now this now becomes my column here. As you can see that if I dimension this column now, you can see that this column now becomes 600 by 600. So basically when you're dealing with a high-rise building, you should deal with a bigger columns because that will be able to carry the load of the structure very well. Okay, so again now I will now come here. Let me just activate my my line weight because this line weight is meant to be thick. So let line weight, and I'll come here right now and click on what display here, and I'll say okay. Okay, that's fine. So I will now move this column right now just near to this place here. Now it is good to insert your column at the midpoint of your grid lines. So I'll quickly move this column now from this point here, and then move it to the center of my grid line here. So I want to have my first column here. So I have now established my first column point here. Now when it comes to column positioning, I have said it over and over again on my videos. If you are a young engineer, make sure you guide yourself that your column distance should be between 6 meters and below, and not above that. Okay, so I'll come again here right now and then place here. So but when you have experienced a lot, you can now begin to now place your columns up to 8 meters, 10 meters and thereabouts, but no more than 11.5 meters. Okay, or in fact I would advise no more than 10 meters or 10.5 meters. Okay, for concrete structures, but for steel you can just exceed that. Okay, and I'll come again here and then place another one here. I have a grid line. Let me take this off. This shouldn't be a line for me. I'll take it off right now. Okay, and I'll come again here, click here, copy this. Now you can see that. Okay, now you can see that basically I am meant to do my structural framing at the ground floor or at the first floor. Okay, so I was doing it here on the second floor here. So I'll quickly remove all my columns for this. I'll quickly just select it right now and then move it to my ground floor. I'll move it right now. I'll just say enter, and move it from this place here. So always begin your framing from your ground floor. Okay, so I'll come here right now and then put my column points here. Okay, so it is right to begin your framing on your ground floors. Okay, now I'll copy again my column again now, CP or CO, from this point now, from the column center point, which is here. That means this grid here is not at the center of the column. Let me put it back there. Okay, that should be here. Okay, so I'll copy this now, this column now, copy the column now, and then move it to the center to all my grids. I want my column again at this point here. I want a column here, and also at this place here. So I'll just begin to place my columns now on the places which I want my columns to be. Alright. Okay, so again I'll copy again from here and then place around here. Now if you can see that we have a lift here. This symbol here simply means a lift. So since there's a lift here, there will be a reinforced concrete wall around the lift. Okay, so whenever you have your lift, always provide a reinforced concrete wall around the lift. Okay, so that means that we are going to provide a grid lines for this lift and then insert our walls when we are doing the structural modeling on the software ProtaStructure 2022. So I'll come again and click here, and then also click here also, and I'll come again and place my column here, this point here, and also at this point here, okay, and also at this point here, okay, and also at this point here, and also I'll place again at this point here, and also at this point here, okay. And then you can see that I have done placing my columns now. Now, once you're done placing your columns on the ground floor, the ground floor should be the place where you're meant to do your GA. Now, once you're done placing your column on the ground floor, you have to remove everything that is not necessary and everything that is not a structural element, okay? So right now, if you look at this place here is basically not a structural element. This is just a place for flowers and all that. As you can see it here on the first floor here, it is not on this place here. So the first thing to do once you're done placing your column is to make what they call column superimposing. You have to copy your column from the ground floor to all other floors to make sure that the column points are not interfering to any kind of to like disturb the people using the structure.